Good evening, afternoon, or morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the RBT5 quarterfinals right here on Vanel's channel on the Parish. Once again, we have had three brilliant matches this weekend, including the one that just concluded with Team MSB putting up a hell of a fight towards Team Rehab. But this is a different stage entirely because we are here for a home and away matchup between Team Stuck in Rotation and Team Keyboard Warriors. So if you had to ask me right now, which one of the games is going to be potentially the closest, right? With the less than 100 point game between 44 Biceps and Evo notwithstanding, I think it's actually going to be this one. Because Team Stuck in Rotation and Team Keyboard Warriors are both absolutely packed with some of the most talented players in the game from North America and South America, respectively. I've seen Team Keyboard Warriors play for a long amount of time, and I've also seen Team Stuck in Rotation play together and on different teams. This is going to be a hell of a matchup if we see what I think we're going to. I am Reels Barlow, your solo caster and one of your tournament administrators once again for this day of casting that we've had. And right now, the team that wins this game is going to move forward and play Team Rehab in the semifinals on Dark Carnival. So Envy versus 44 Biceps and Rehab versus the winner of this game. That will, of course, be on Dark Carnival. But first, we have the Parish here, and we are starting on Sir Please number 1 to have this be Team Stuck in Rotation's home game. So we see them all pinging between about 51 and 68 versus Team Keyboard Warriors, with one person neg being red and one person being orange and 3 people being red, but those are pretty low red pings, honestly. 142 through 165 for this team. I am super excited to see this because Team Keyboard Warriors, I would say in the entirety of competitive Left 4 Dead 2, has 4 players who are extremely used to playing on this away server ping. They are deadly on any latency, honestly, and I think Stuck in Rotation are the same way, but they might be facing a bit more of an uphill climb on their away game just due to the fact that South American routing from North America can sometimes be extremely treacherous. But let's see first what happens in this game. It's going to be a 75% tank on this first map. We've seen this map pretty, I don't know, balanced for most teams that have played it just because it is that tank and then a couple other hits. But in a situation like this, when the survivors are going to have to move all the way forward and then fight the tank either at the corner or by pulling it all the way back to the safe room, that can be treacherous for them just due to the fact that the tank can intercept as well. And when you're talking about a team having that kind of advantage on their home server, this is also a circumstance, of course, where long arms are going to be pretty prevalent on both sides, I would say. Some extremely recognizable names, of course, on both sides here, with Team Stuck in Rotation being favored in this game just due to their seeding. But again, I am really throwing all that out the window because it only matters in terms of what we see happening right here on this game. So, for Team Stuck in Rotation on Survivor side first, we have Ramirez, we have Brubs, aka Bravo, Yams, and Adam. And for our infected side, Team Keyboard Warriors, we have Slay, Kyan, aka Knock, Domi, and Neg. So, we actually saw, I think, both of these lineups play the last week. They have some consistency going for them, and hopefully we have some consistency here in RBT5 with another amazing match that is going to get started right now as we are going live. So the GLHFs are most likely going to go out, and indeed they are, as this first hit for Keyboard Warriors is going to be a 2-2. It's going to be that Boomer, Spitter, Hunter, and Jockey. So one of the worst 2-2s, I would say, but that Jockey's going to go in, getting shut down. Hunter trying to land, not going to get there. We do see a bit of free spit go out as that Boomer is going to die last. So a good start on that first hit for Stuck in Rotation. Let's see if they're able to work their way forward and get this tank spawned up, probably after one more hit. This, of course, is going to be a tank that, as I mentioned, has the chance, I think, to intercept on the run back, so I'm going to be interested to see exactly what Stuck in Rotation do with this. And Keyboard Warriors are probably wise for that as well, and they have a 4-cap up right now. Smoker, Charger, Jockey, and Hunter. So honestly, I expect to see them send this before the survivors start moving backwards. but they also would probably like a boomer for one of these arc booms off of the roofs that we might see as the survivors go back. But there's the tank spawn going to be triggered by Ramirez. Charger goes rocketing in, is not going to land. Hunter does manage to land a 10 DP onto Rochelle. That smoker gets shut down, and here we have it. The tank is up in the hands of Domi, and he's actually not going to be going right for that intercept. He's going to be going on top of the roof instead. So instead of seeing him push in and try to get some kind of intercept with the car, he is just going to take absolutely no chip and stand on top of this roof while his team are going to get maybe a couple hits for him. He's going to be transitioning now to the left-hand side in this building. It's a Charger, Boomer, and a Jockey for this first hit, and they look to be like they want to go from the top of this broken house's roof. Domi not in the most amazing position right now because he still has to transition and get up there, and the survivors are really attuned to that with these Uzis in the front. Boomer is going to get a spawn onto Yams that is going to force them to back up, and Domi's going to be able to transition with absolutely no chip, and he's going to decide to be going in with that from the bottom. Charger and Jockey for his SI support, plus the common coming in from that one boom. First punch is going to land onto Rochelle, but he's down to 1500 HP already, going for a long arm to Ramirez, not going to land it. Charger is going to go for Rochelle at the same point as the tank, but this tank is going to throw one more Ross, but he is going to be dead off of that. That Jockey still doing a decent amount of damage there onto Yams, and we saw the Hunter land on Adam as well, but honestly I was surprised to see him commit on that one boom just due to the fact he could have had a free transition up top, and he was pretty shredded by the time those other SI came into queue, seeing as he had two support and one that was still coming from that boomer. The one boom horde really wasn't enough to get anyone caught, and this is a good start for Stuck in Rotation, maybe some of the best they could have hoped for since they have not taken an in-cap. Pretty devastating hit potentially for this alley though. It's a Spitter, Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger, so this is an area where you kind of like the 2-2 just because you can get the arc boom from the roof and then get some kind of stumble down below. Boomer is going to spawn up though, missing the arc just a bit as Ramirez is going to be making his way forward. Smoker Pole does go out, not going to land. Charger gets absolutely insta-cleared, and that is a nice job by SIR to bait out that hit and clear that Charger. That Boomer is going to be trying to get some kind of proxy, not going to be happening though, and it's maybe just one more hit before the safe room because the Smoker actually is going to go in the back instead, trying to delay these survivors, and Bravo pushes him all the way back through the alley to get that kill, maybe because they were worried about a last-minute quad cap, but honestly, Team Stuck in Rotation are going to have this with a great bonus coming up. It's going to be a Jockey, Charger, and Hunter for this last hit, it would seem. No Spitter or Boomer in the queue quite yet, unless they decide to wait just a bit more, but they are looking to get into that safe room on Survivor side, but now the Charger is going to go in, not going to land. Hunter gets annihilated, and the Jockey gets shut down as well. Beautiful start for Team Stuck in Rotation on their home server, and that is the kind of map one that you are still able to get on this config and on that chapter. 760 points to start this game. Slay saying in Infected chat, "Wake me up, team." So there might just be a little bit of outside interference on Team Keyboard Warriors to start, and honestly, that was one of the rounds where I expected them to get a bit more damage. So I don't know. This tank handle is going to be really important for them on Survivor side, just because you don't want to see any kind of multi-100 point deficit off this first map. We haven't seen that in this round so far, really. It almost happened last night before a round restart went down, but great opportunity now for SIR to get a lot of damage and or wipe, and it will be an Atom tank for that commit. Boomer, Hunter, Spitter, Jockey for the first hit once again. That's going to be a double boom landing out. Hunter and Jockey are both going for Domi, but he is on top of that parking block on the side there, so he's not going to get any spit damage onto him. Looks like it's spread up on the other side as well. Lots of common going in, and there was still about, 24 damage on that first hit, but definitely a area now where Keyboard Warriors are going to be able to push through this horde and maybe have to contend with the question of if the tank's going to intercept or not, because I do think it is possible based on how far forward they have to get, but it would be risky to send it with no support. We do have a quad cap here for Stuck in Rotation. Jockey, Smoker, Hunter, Charger all making their way in. That's going to be a beautiful double charge going out. Jockey gets the intercept as well. This has the potential to be a quad right away, but it's not going to happen. It is going to be a tremendous amount of damage, though, going out, as that Smoker's going to land, too. Oh, my goodness. Keyboard Warriors are on their back foot to start this away game. Oh, my goodness. They just got obliterated by that quad cap. That double charge with that Smoker still up had a chance like an outside chance of landing that quad. And now this is what I was talking about with Adam making his way to the side here. If those survivors don't pop, they're at risk of getting this boomer maybe jumping out onto them, and indeed that's what's going to happen. Double boom goes out. Adam making his way across is now going to look to climb up this wall and then commit, I would say, with that Charger and Smoker still alive. He might be waiting for the rest of the Horde to get there, but now he is indeed going to drop in with that Horde being almost dead, and it is going to be a little bit delayed as well, so this is better for him. Cutting these two survivors into this corner, missing 2 punches though, onto Nick, finally getting the punch onto him now, looking for the down onto Neg, but that is actually supremely unfortunate for Stuck in Rotation as this Hunter manages to land, because that tank is going to die without any other damage. Man, those first couple punches missing onto Neg was really unfortunate for Adam, but thanks to that quad hit that they got beforehand, it is still a nice amount of damage going out, and they only have one more set of pills on the side of Keyboard Warriors. They need to be fighting for every distance point that they've got here, though, because the beautiful survive round by SIR is looking to put them down by as much as 600 right now as the Delta stands. So, Charger, Jockey, Boomer, and Spitter, 2-2 with that Shard Spit. Really good for, I'd say, this upcoming alley choke, but they actually might be deciding to send it beforehand. I like the aggression for them doing it as well. That is going to be the Shard Spit landing onto Slay. Spitter is going to hold him in that spit and get the in cap. So far, it is all Stuck in Rotation on this North American server. That's going to put Slay down for the first time. They've had 2 in caps as a team so far, so no black and white issues next, but we see how far ahead Domi is pushing. He is the last survivor with permanent HP. He has 61 HP to his name, and it's going to be another quad cap from SIR threatening here with the Jockey, Hunter, Smoker, and Charger going in. There's the double triple cap actually landing once again, but that Jockey cannot get through the door due to the Charger being there. Domi is the only survivor with any kind of bonus left as Slay is getting constricted against that wall. Absolute dominance from Stuck in Rotation here on map 1. This is exactly what they need to be doing, just absolutely maximizing this first map, and it's still going to be a pretty hefty difference going into map 2, even if Team Keyboard Warriors make it with Domi's bonus. Boomer rockets in, gets a single boom. Neg is at 1 HP and is about to almost go down to common, but he manages to get out of it as there's a Hunter, Charger, and Spitter for the rest of the hit. Hunter jumping in, going to get taken out though by Knock. Charger goes in for something, not able to get it, but the spit is going to get the in cap onto Neg. No alarm car going off, and this is a situation now where Neg is going to be black and white. We have just about 11.3% of that health bonus left, goes up to 15.1 with the revive, but again, this is going to be a tough mountain for Keyboard Warriors to climb just off the start. The Jockey's going to die. Smoker is looking for a pull in the back. We have the Hunter bouncing as well off of that wall. Boomer goes in and gets a double boom as that smoke gets cleared. Domi will be triggering the alarm from that, but absolutely no problem making it into the safe room before that becomes an issue. That is, though, almost a 400-point lead, 396 off of the first map here on Parish for Team Stuck in Rotation, and this is one of the rare circumstances, I would say, where that is a pretty hefty difference. Almost, actually, I think over 700 more damage being dished out by Stuck in Rotation versus Keyboard Warriors. This is where, if you're Keyboard Warriors, you know you're on a way first, and you know it's only map 1, but they really can't afford to have another map like that where we saw so many triple and almost quad caps landing onto them from Stuck in Rotations at Special Infected so far. This tank's going to be at 27%, so that is going to be in the field as, I would say, like half the tanks are nowadays, really. But it's really kind of not possible to play a rock tank in that area either, I would say, and this is going to be some kind of dumpster tank, most likely, from Team Keyboard Warriors, and they need to do a bit more damage than we saw Domi's tank do on that first map. Quick ready-ups, though, are going out as Stuck in Rotation are on that Survivor side. They're going to be facing down a pretty decent hit, I would say, from Team Keyboard Warriors. It's that Hunter, Smoker, Boomer, and Charger, as we see Brubs poking his way out of the safe room, clearing most of the common in front, and now he's trying to get anything to spawn that he can before the rest of this hit rockets in. Pretty much looking for a mental reset from Keyboard Warriors after that first map as well, just because the momentum is heavily in Stuck in Rotation side, but this is one of those games where you have to just move from one tank to the next hit, one at a time, as we see this happening here. Charger is going to land off a pull target. Nice skeet, though, going out onto that Hunter by Adam. Smoker is going to get a repull onto Coach, but gets instantaneously cleared. Domi's Boomer has saved itself, potentially for this corner. Might be able to get some kind of arc as the survivors are pushing forward, but it's not possible to keep them in the safe room area, and there's the pop going out by Ram onto Domi. Used to be, with these 20-some percentages, there was a chance of keeping the survivors near the safe room, but with this percentage, it's pretty impossible as this spit goes down onto nothing. The tank is up into the hands of Kyan, aka Knock himself, and he's going to be looking to avoid chip to start while working his way over the left-hand side to get his dumpster into play. With this being a recent update for Parish Map 2, you no longer have to go for the dumpster that's all the way in front, and it looks as though the survivors are trying to get some kind of chip onto him, but they have silenced Uzis. We saw this happen in the last match, actually, where any kind of chip that goes out from that range is quite literally doing 1 damage per bullet. So really not worth for the survivors to potentially trade sight with this, but Knock is having a little bit of a difficult time with this dumpster before he knocks it over to this picnic table area, and he's actually taking a pretty wide route to hit it in, as he has a Jockey, Hunter, and Smoker for the rest of his support. He's already, though, on second pass, 80%. I think he wants to go for this dumpster still, but he doesn't really have sight on the survivors. Now he has a little bit of it. Dumpster goes rocketing in off the tree and falls directly next to the gazebo, but this is going to be the commit from this tank with this hit. So Tricap in the open field has to try to do some kind of work as the tank is in, not even really going for that hittable whatsoever. Smoker pull not going to land. Tank whiffing a punch too onto Ellis. We're going to see the Smoker and the Jockey take the same target. Tank does get a first punch now onto Rochelle, but that Hunter is going to be skeeted. He's going to try to get the rock onto Nick, and he gets it onto Ellis instead, but that is a 2-hitter tank. 1 hit, 1 rock, and that's 48 damage from that. You really couldn't ask for anything better. Again, if you're stuck in rotation, they have shut these tanks down hardcore so far, and they have a beautiful amount of bonus as they're working their way forward. And because that tank is already gone, they can choose to push through the event now instead of standing in the open and trying to take like 4 or 5 hits from the SI. So again, all the momentum on their side on this home server. Jockey spawns up looking to go in. Charger going in as well. There is the charge and the spit going down on top of that with a boom as well. Jumping around, holding Bravo in the spit for just about the same amount of damage that the tank did in that open area. They are going to need a few more hits like that to control this amount of bonus that Stuck in Rotation have managed to acquire on both Map 1 and Map 2 so far. Let's see if they're able to hold it as they make their way down this alley. Hunter, Smoker, Charger, and Boomer, so no spitter for this, and the SI are already just a tad bit behind because the W mode is really out. This corner is still the place that they're going to go. Charger goes in, manages to land. Double Boom lands as well. The Hunter is going to land in the front for a split second, and Rochelle did take a few ticks of damage from that Smoker as this Boomer does get proxied on to Nick, but that 3-boom only going to be slowing them down for a couple seconds as Rochelle is still clear to distance Uzi all of these common. We might be seeing one more hit now from Keyboard Warriors before the survivors get close to this scaffolding, but it's going to be kind of precarious because the survivors can make their way and just stand on top of these porta potties, which is a very favorable spot for them. Spitter, Jockey, Charger, and Hunter for this hit. They really don't have the rockets to hit team Stuck in Rotation here. They'd have to get all the way on top of the bridge in order to do it. That Jockey's going to be doing just that as the Hunter is below, but now the survivors are going to already make their way forward. Great movement so far we're seeing from Stuck in Rotation as a team as they are now going to push up this scaffolding. Hunter does manage to land onto Nick for a split second. The Charger is going to land on him as well, but the spit is going to be almost out of that range. It actually manages to get a decent amount onto him just from the few ticks it was able to, and that's going to cause Bravo to pop that set of pills. But again, everyone else sitting at pretty decent green health, 66, 76, and 75, looking to make this bonus on this map. Really, that is the best you could have asked for, I would say, on Survivor side, almost, just because of how that tank was handled. That double boom is decent for the SI, but it's hard, again, to hit the survivors when they're on top of this. And if you notice, they've dropped only 1 survivor down on the floor to block some of those spawns, because you don't want to have the survivors standing there in rocket range for these SI. It's going to be that 3-cap with most likely Spitter, I believe, happening inside now, because it looks like the SI are not interested in hitting them on that scaffolding. And it is actually going to be a quad cap, but most of the common are already dead. The survivors are moving decently around. Let's see if this can actually land. Hunter and Jockey both going in from the top. Charger trying to climb up as well. Not going to land it. We do see a split-second pounce onto Rochelle, but that area is so awkward to try to land on the survivors when they're up top. The Charger tried, right, by climbing that ladder and then trying to get some kind of multi-charge, but he actually clipped the edge of the platform there, and that's going to cause the survivors to be able to hold W almost to the safe room. Boomer, Jockey, Spitter, and one more spawn coming into queue. Might not even matter by the time the survivors get there. We do see a single boom, and now it will, because they're going to be standing right in that corner looking at the roof. The Charger is going to be trying to spawn from around the truck, it would seem, but now he's going to be repositioning once again. This Boomer in the hands of Slay, trying to maybe get a recharge, but the survivors are going to be looking to get into the safe room before that happens. Jockey does go in, not going to land. Charger spawns up, does not land either after landing on Rochelle's head. Spit does go in, but that is going to be all they wrote. This is an extremely impressive first 2 maps from Team Stuck in Rotation, and they're going to be bringing their game score for their home server to something as soon as Ramirez actually gets inside, and there he's going to 1,912 points from Stuck in Rotation on their home. This is an amazing start for them, and that's going to cause a decent amount of pressure on to Team Keyboard Warriors on their home to match this, because they are averaging just under 1,000 points per chapter, and that of course is the ideal that you're looking for in any home and away game. Extremely fast ready ups once again, as now Stuck in Rotation are on the special infected side, with Keyboard Warriors looking to rebound from that first map on Survivor right now. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and Hunter once again for the first hit. Let's see what they are able to do with this, if anything. That tank will be up into the hands of Brubs, aka Bravo, as well in the field. Charger's going to land in front. Double Boom goes out as well, but the survivors get proxied back into the safe room. Smoker's going to die. Hunter goes for a scratch. 16 damage plus whatever residual common damage that they get, but that was a much better handled attack from Keyboard Warriors. Slay doing his best to get out of these common in the back as well. Not a whole lot going out really whatsoever, and now the survivors are going to be in the park with their higher ping. That's probably one of the most favorable areas for them, especially considering the latency, but it looks like Stuck in Rotation are going to try to get a hit anyway with that Charger, Boomer, and Jockey spawning up. Nice shutdown going out onto that Boomer. Spit does go out for a decent amount onto Domi as the rest of the hit is shut down, and now here is this tank up in the hands of Bravo, looking to get this dumpster the same way that Nock did, but probably trying to hit it a bit closer to the survivors, at least to zone them near that gazebo. Knocking it to the front, and we are also seeing, once again, the survivors with distance Uzi. I honestly do not believe it's worth going for Chip at that range, because you have only 1 damage per bullet. It's not going to do a massive amount to the tank, and you're trading sight. And this is going to be Bravo rotating all the way around. I think he's going for that car, and indeed he is. So 2 hittables have the chance to be in play on this tank right now. And that car is going to go absolutely helicoptering in. It is perfectly in play. Even had a chance of hitting Ellis, but Keyboard Warriors are not here for this. They're going to be working their way forward now on Bravo's tank. The Boomer is dead, and they're going to be working their way through the alley. Nice call by them, I would say, but they have to kill all of these common in short order as Bravo is trying not to go AI from behind. That car is going to do nothing for him, and now he's going to be forced to commit right here as the SI have spawns above him. Hunter, Smoker, and Charger for the support. Nice early punch, though, going in onto Neg. A second one going out as well. Punch going on to Rochelle, too, and that Smoker is going to die, but not before those 2 hits are out. That's going to be a Hunter getting skied as Coach gets rocketed across those barriers, and now the tank did try to throw a rock, and that's going to be a dumpster bouncing around too, and that honestly worked out for Team Keyboard Warriors. Killing that Boomer was absolutely essential as they were working the way forward, because if they got hoarded there, they could have died. But now that they have still everybody at some level of permanent health, no in-caps, Bravo did what he could in that area, but now they have a chance to maybe make up some of this delta that we saw from map 1, or at least match teams stuck in rotation as they're going to be taking a hit inside the Cedar trailer. It's going to be a Spitter, Smoker, Boomer, and Jockey, so if that Spit can manage to land on that table, this could be a ridiculous amount of damage. Jockey's going to land as well, and there is the spread. Boomer proxying onto Slay. Oh my goodness, that was a tremendous amount of damage inside that room, and that's why that room can be so risky, because if that Spitter can just spit on top of the table, it will spread literally everywhere. And with how dangerous free spit is in this version of zone mod, that's why you just saw that amount of damage go out, plus that Boomer proxy really did not help their case. And now they're going to be dealing with a Jockey, Charger, Hunter, and a Boomer, so a 3-1 with rocket spawns onto them as they're trying to work their way forward. At the same time, Hunter pre-spawns in front, Jockey looking to go in as well. Charger rockets in, going to land a single charge onto Nick as that Jockey lands onto Rochelle too. That was looking like a double for a second, but indeed it was not. Now, Keyboard Warriors have not a free pass to the button, but they are already halfway through the event. They have people who are still able to be fast. Domi's going to pop. They're probably going to give pills to Rochelle in a second too, and they'll be in a much better spot to kill these SI hits as they take the top of this scaffolding to hit the button. It's going to be a Smoker, Hunter, Boomer, and a Spitter for the next hit. Smoker is going to land in the back. Hunter gets skeeted by Domi, and this Spitter was waiting for just a second to see if that Hunter would land, and indeed it did not. Boomer does get a single proxy onto Nick, and that means this is going to be a quad cap attempt coming soon for Stuck in Rotation. Looks like the Survivors are looking to push into the bus depot now, however, with some of that horde still going, maybe to take it on the left-hand side outside, and indeed that's exactly where they're going to go. They're going to be able to stand in a very open area here, with 2 people bleeding, 3 people technically bleeding, but really no worry in terms of the rest of that horde, unless they get massively separated, because I don't think it's actually possible to rocket directly onto the Survivor's head unless they're standing on that left-hand side, depending on what Nick does. They might prove me wrong, because now they're trying to come from behind this wall, and that's what's going to happen, as we're going to see the Charger whiff. Jockey lands. That is going to be the Hunter taking the Jockey's target, but the real damage has been out onto Nick in that corner. That Smoker got a full in cap with scratches combined with that pull to the side, and as you can see, there is a ramp now that the Survivors can worry about, as the Infected are going to be trying to climb up that wall once again if they were to stay here, and it was just enough for that Smoker to be able to get a decent angle onto Nick and do that damage. So still carrying 71% damage bonus and 16% health bonus on Team Keyboard Warriors here. They do have a 2-2 to deal with now. That Jockey's going to be going in, M2'd and shut down. Spit goes out as well, getting a nice amount of damage just from free spit again. Neg is going to be at 3 HP with 1 in cap already taken. That was a assault on the damage bonus, but this actually is going to be Keyboard Warriors making the map and staying in the competition here so far on the North American server. 1912 to 1064 in favor of Stuck in Rotation on their home server. And now, map 3 is, of course, the most crucial map, I would say, on Parish. And so far, especially depending on where that tank spawns, if it's early or if it's on the bridge, it probably has a better chance of doing damage than what we've seen from those first 2 tanks, because Stuck in Rotation shut down the first tank from Keyboard Warriors like it was nobody's business, and then map 2 managed to get a few punches, but both teams were able to take that pretty well. Let's see exactly where this is going to be on this Endurance campaign, and indeed it's going to be 36%, which means the Survivors have a chance of either pushing that forward or bringing it back to the safe room. I would be surprised to see Stuck in Rotation take it back, actually, because if you fight it forward, right, as long as you don't get multi-boom when you're transitioning, you can pretty much not have to worry about any hittable whatsoever, and the tank is going to be relying on support to get as much damage as it can in an area where it's pretty easy to kite them and pretty easy to shut it down. So let's see what happens. However, we do have the quote-unquote tier 2 Uzi, aka the unsilenced Uzi, in the safe room, so that means Chip is going to be extremely possible on the Survivor side. Say what you will about that Uzi, but the amount of damage it deals from a distance compared to the silenced, right? We saw just bullets hitting for 1 damage last chapter. This could be a tank execution if the survivors are able to get that much damage onto it. But first, this first hit's going to be a 3-1 as we are live here now on map 3. Stuck in rotation on their survivor side, looking to mitigate this damage, but it's a Hunter, Jockey, Charger, and Spitter. Probably one of the best hits that the SI could ask for in this area. Let's see if they make it work. Jockey's gonna go in, Hunter's gonna land. That's gonna be a spit going down, but the spit was blocked, it would seem, from hitting that survivor who was pinned. So, well done on the survivor side on that hit as well for Stuck in Rotation. They've been playing pretty... I'd say they've been playing extremely well, actually. I was going to say pretty well, but now, with what they've been doing, it seems like their survivor side is definitely on the same page. And here, we're going to see them try to take this room choke with no spitter to deal with. It's a Hunter, Jockey, Boomer, and a Smoker, so triple cap potential for the SI, but also potential for easy shutdowns with these Chrome Shotties and Distance Uzis. This is probably the ideal situation that you'd want to be in as a survivor team right now, and they're keeping that, looks like it is indeed a 2-2. Boomer is going to try to get an arc boom and is going to die. That might cause the SI to wait, but no, they're actually going to be sending it instead. That's going to be the Jockey getting M2'd shut down. Hunter trying to wall kick, not able to get much of anything. Pull goes out onto Bravo, but does get instantaneously cleared once again. And that, I think, is going to cause Stuck in Rotation to push their way forward and fight this tank in this area where it's really difficult sometimes as the tank to get a corner yourself in this spot, and it's going to come down to that SI support, as I mentioned before. I don't think they have to take this next hit on the staircase. For some reason also, the current is at 38 and the tank has not yet spawned. That is a little bit concerning, but there is going to be that Charger landing, no spit with that double boom and this Jockey getting shut down. I think both teams, as well as I, were a little bit thrown off by the fact that didn't spawn. I'm assuming it's going to happen as they walk into the room. There we go. Okay, so 36% is an absolute lie. It's really at 39%, and it's unfortunate for Keyboard Warriors that they had to learn that from the survivors spawning it now, solely because they probably could have gotten a hit in the room had they known that was going to be the actual spawn. So again, Left 4 Dead 2 being Left 4 Dead 2 and doing Left 4 Dead 2 things. Here come the Distance Uzis chipping this tank all the way across the map, and I think the tank decided to say, screw that, we are going to be going in some different direction because he was just going to be absolutely just focused with those Distance Uzis from there. Honestly, Distance Uzis for me, I think it really does have to be, like, semi-nerfed at some point, just from what we've seen. But right now, we're going to see this hit go in. Charger gets a couple punches, not going to land. Smoker and Hunter for the other two spawns. This has to do some decent damage for Team Keyboard Warriors, I would say. And they can completely punish this tank all the way down the commit path from this building. I think he might try to go for the building on the left-hand side. Indeed, he's going to do that just because he is getting railed already through the wall. And there is that sound. 3 Uzis ripping into him. He's down to 4,500 as the survivors are backing up. Hunter is on top as well. I like this call so far from Stuck in Rotation, but they have to watch their spacing now as the tank is working its way around. Smoker's going to die. Hunter is still up with that Jockey. The tank has gotten a corner onto Adam, working him into that fence. One more hit is going to do it. That was a 5-punch corner, and the tank is going to get solely that, it would seem, as Adam was able to take those blows for his team and allow them to do the rest of that work. He got some good damage on the tank as well before he was hit. So again, only 1 in-cap going out for Stuck in Rotation here on Survivor, and Keyboard Warriors have a couple decent chokes to still do a fair amount of damage, including this one here. Boomer, Charger, Spitter, and Smoker. The Boomer pre-spawns actually down below, looking for the survivors to come close to him, but looks as though the SI are still pretty much hitting on Stuck in Rotation's terms, and they're setting the pace of the game as that Boomer is going to miss the arc. Now is going to climb up on the side, gets popped and shut down. Charger and Spitter saving for this, and it looked as though, I don't know, maybe the SI were depending on that one boom to land to send the rest of the hit in, but now they're going to be faced with deciding whether they want to send this hit prior to the sewer choke, or if they want to try to just have the Charger die first and see what they can do on the ladder. It's going to be a Charger, Hunter, Spitter, and Jockey for this hit, but again, the survivors taking their time, baiting it out in the back there, and we'll see what they decide to do in terms of dropping, because it looks as though the SI are going to be hitting them when that happens. This bonus is still immaculate, I would say, for teams stuck in rotation at this point. They are going to drop one survivor down with a shotgun, looking to get the kill on that Hunter. Now they're all going to drop. Hunter does manage to get the wall kick. Charger goes in as well, managing to land a nice double cap. The Jockey's going to land, and the Hunter gets a repounce as well. Adam getting absolutely annihilated by that Jockey and Spit, and that does put him black and white. This chapter, I think, is the best SI we've seen played by Keyboard Warriors so far, especially due to that second in cap onto Adam, and he's going to be popping pills the entirety of the rest of the map as the survivors work their way forward to the manhole choke. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and Spitter, so they actually sacked in a decent order as well after they got that damage, killing the Boomer now as the survivors are going to be dropping. This might be just enough time for them to get in position for this ladder choke, but the Spitter is going to be looking to most likely delay them before they come running all the way up, or it's just going to be a full hit going in. There is going to be the Charger landing up top, as well as the Smoker. With that Spit going down, that is a pull to an alarm car onto Yams, and Bravo took a decent amount of damage too. All the car alarms are going to be triggered as the survivors work their way forward, but they are actually a little bit split right now. 2 in the back and 2 in the front. No SI to really capitalize on that, but I fully expect teams stuck in rotation to take at least a fair amount of this horde as this Hunter is trying to slow them down. Charger and Jockey, the other two pinners, plus that Boomer for Neg in the queue, but this is going to be difficult for the Special Infected to land exactly here. It's due to the survivors standing down below. They know they're bleeding, but they also know that they really can't afford to take this choke with that horde pouring in from on top of them or from around them. That's going to be a sack of the Boomer as well, maybe trying to get that Spitter for this set of stairs, and the survivors are wise to it and are going to start making their way up, baiting it out as much as possible. Nice kill onto that Hunter, though, from Bravo, as the Charger is going to get an intercept. That's going to be a nice amount of damage going out onto Brubs around that ambulance, so decide not to wait for the Spitter. I like that on Survivor side, but the SI have to also like how much damage that got, regardless of that Spit. And now, there is only one set of pills left for stuck in rotation. Their damage bonus has been pretty heavily affected by Keyboard Warriors' hits so far this map, especially post-tank. Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and Spitter for the next, as the survivors are going to be looking to drop into this alley. Adam has also taken those pills, so Bravo is going to be slow unless they find another set in the headstones. Nice pop going out onto that Boomer as well, as I think we're going to see the SI decide to wait inside here unless a survivor decides to push towards them. That Hunter is pre-spawned on the left and is looking for a wall kick, but is not going to find it due to the survivors just making their way forward through these chokes. And there's the Charger, I think, that is definitely helpful for the Special Infected if they're able to get this Hunter to land or to get any kind of pull charge Spit onto the survivors. Once again, pull is going to go out there onto Adam, but is going to get cleared. Long charge going in, not going to land, but that Pounce Spit does land on Adam inside that grave fencing. And Bravo is going to be continuously bleeding through this. And I actually really don't see any sets. There we go. One set of pills that Coach was able to find. And a second set as well. That is extremely fortunate for teams stuck in rotation, as now they're going to have everybody fast and just a bit of pill bonus as they work their way. I was actually starting to doubt if they'd find any in the map as they got that far into it, but it came at the exact right time. Smoker, Boomer, Jockey, Charger for the next hit. Boomer is going to get M2'd and shut down, leaving just those 3 pinners up, and stuck in rotation are not looking to get a 4 spawn into Q at all as they work their way forward here, looking for the block on the Charger to the right. Ramirez is going to find it as the Smoker is still in the back, but they are so close to making safe from here. They can almost taste it. Charger gets annihilated. Jockey gets destroyed, and the Smoker, for its trouble, is not going to get much of anything. Just left alone in the back. Hunter gets a machete to the face, and stuck in rotation have got 2,888 points for this match so far. This upcoming round on Survivor, even though it's the away server, the Keyboard Warriors just can't afford a wipe. They have to get at least distance, I would say, on this. It's still a pretty recoverable delta because the South American server is going to be putting stuck in rotation in a precarious spot, but you don't like to see yourself behind by about 1,800, over 1,800 actually, going into the second half of map 3. It's very, very livable by the survivors on this, but they need to make sure that tank doesn't get any kind of insane multi-boom for support, doesn't get some kind of, triple cap. They can't afford to have that happen the way that it was on the first map if they want to be keeping any kind of pace here, I would say. Let's see what Stuck in Rotation can do with this first hit. As they send it in right now, Charger is going to get cleared before landing, but then the Hunter is going to land as this Jockey got M2'd for its trouble. So just about 24 damage going out on that first hit. Very nice clear going out onto that Charger too, because that was looking almost like a double cap in Spit, and yet they were able to avoid it on Survivor's side. Cayenne is down to 77 HP, so that's a little unfortunate, but honestly, they need to just get past some of these more dangerous chokes, including the one that they have right here with this room. Boomer, Hunter, Charger, Smoker, 4 Stuck in Rotation. That Boomer's going to rocket its way in, lands a beautiful triple boom. The Hunter is looking to go as well. Charger's going to land in the back. That's going to be a double triple cap, exactly what we said they could not have happen. Just did, except not on the tank, just on that hit itself. Knocked down to 44 HP from that. Again, the cohesion from Stuck in Rotation. I've casted and seen most of their games this tournament. This is one of their best showings so far, I would say, here in the quarterfinals. And they're going to keep trying to carry that momentum forward as the Survivors are going to have to navigate this room up ahead to get that tank spawn. Jockey, Boomer, Spitter, Charger for the next from Stuck in Rotation. I think they're going to send it now, and indeed they are. Charger is going to get melted on the stairs of that mobile home as Rochelle kites her way out, killing the Common. No Spit damage to their names there, and that's going to be the tank spawning up into the hands of Yams himself. 4 teams Stuck in Rotation. Let's see what he decides to do in terms of his commit path. He's going to be climbing onto the roof to start and not taking any chip from those distance Uzis. That Boomer is also going to get shut down. Smoker and Hunter for the other 2 spawns. This will be a 3 cap, most likely for this tank's commit, and he is crawling all the way to the front here of the staircase. Really doing a good job of not taking any chip whatsoever from the Survivors. They also aren't playing him aggressive. They might be trying to work their way back through the map, and indeed they are going to. They're going to be running him from where they... Oh no, I thought they were going to run him all the way back, but it looks as though they were actually faking it. Now they're going to have to fight him in this area, and I don't know how good this is for them. It worked okay for Stuck in Rotation, but Domi backed into a washing machine and is now getting cornered pretty early in this tank's lifespan. There's the in-cap going out. Smoker, Charger, and Hunter. Another punch going out onto Rochelle. The tank clears the Hunter that was on top of Ellis. Charger still looking for it onto Coach and is going to land it. The last survivor up is Rochelle. There's the clear, but the tank is going to be able to get this corner as well, as this Uzi is not doing enough damage. He's going to stay in, trying to push Rochelle backwards, and he's going to get it onto her in that corner. Rock is going to go flying directly into that thin tree because Left 4 Dead 2's physics make absolutely no sense, but this tank is looking to get a wipe now with the help of his SI support. He's going to be throwing a rock. Boomer jumps its way in. Rock is not going to land. Jockey is going to try to find it. Not going to land either. Hunter gets stuck on the air conditioner as Rochelle is hiding from those rocks in the exact same way. The Hunter's going to die. Rock is not going to land, and Rochelle is out of ammo. She cannot kill this 8 health tank that is now climbing its way in, not finding that last punch, but a tremendous amount of damage going out onto Team Keyboard Warriors. Charger jumps its way in. They live the tank, but with such great damage onto them. A great tank by Yams, along with his SI support, finding those pins, and they control this pickup still as these survivors are almost dead, right on top of one another. But Rochelle now is going to get the full pickup onto Nick, aka Domi, and Nock is also not going to die, but that's some of the best damage I've seen put onto a team without a wipe. That had so many chances to just be all 4 survivors dying, and they really, really, really need these distance points right now. That's going to be the Jockey landing onto Slay. He's going to be picking up a shotgun from inside, so he has actual ammo now, but again, Stuck in Rotation Special Infected have been the story of this game so far, and it's continuing here with that Pounce landing, and then the Charger is going to get cleared, but not before Nock takes a great amount of damage from that free spit. The W mode needs to be engaged now from Keyboard Warriors as they push forward. Honestly, I mean, with the other games still to happen, right, and Stuck in Rotation going to be having to deal with a lot higher ping, I would say, just compared to what they have now. You know, it's still possible for Keyboard Warriors to get this win, but this is looking precarious for them on this map. As that Hunter lands, the Smoker lands on the side, and the Jockey is just waiting in the wings to get even more damage. It's been absolutely unrelenting special infected from Stuck in Rotation. And there's an in-cap going out onto Slay as Nick is also working his way through this building. Again, you do not want to see this kind of delta through 3 maps on Parish if you're the team playing away, and that is something that's obviously known by Team Stuck in Rotation as they keep just hammering them with hit after hit after hit. That spit did not do as much damage as it could have had that charger landed, but once again, it's more damage. Right now, every single hit you can get in is just helping the SI's case even more, and they don't even have to wait for some of the most powerful chokes because we have 4 survivors who are about to be slow. They're going to drop into the sewer now with a Hunter, Charger, Smoker, Boomer awaiting them as they're pushing towards the ladder, but if anything here lands, you could easily see a death onto Knock, who is 6 HP, and you can see another in-cap for a black and white on a different people, and there is going to be the hit coming in from below. The Hunter is going to land along with the Smoker. Charger is looking for it too, not finding it, but there's the death onto Knock, and there is the wipe on to Keyboard Warriors by Stuck in Rotation. They are grooving so far in this game, 2,888 to 1411 on their home. Map 4 is pivotal now for Keyboard Warriors because what they cannot allow to happen is Stuck in Rotation making the safe room with multi-hundred bonus again, as we saw on the last couple maps, right? Like we saw at map 1, we saw at map 3, and map 2, they also were able to do pretty much what they wanted in terms of getting that 19-12 points through 2 maps. 47% here looks to be a pool room tank, I'm fairly sure, which might actually be beneficial for Keyboard Warriors since they will have the ability to shut down that tank on their home server, but Stuck in Rotation have to be loving this spawn as well because they've shut down these tanks very, very nicely so far. There was decent damage last map from it, but with a 2-hitter tank map 2 and pretty much 2-hitter tank map 1, that is exactly what you look for on Survivor side. So let's see if Stuck in Rotation continue this momentum. Slay will be the tank for Keyboard Warriors, and we have a 2-2 setup for this first hit. It's a Hunter, Boomer, Spitter, and also a Smoker in front, trying to find an early latch potentially on the survivors. There is the early pull, not going to be able to find it. Hunter goes in, gets blown out of the sky by Bravo. Repull does also try to go in, not going to land it, and they're going to keep the Spitter alive, maybe until the survivors get through this next building. But actually, they're going to decide to sack it now at the end, trying to cause some delay spit, but that's all that's going to happen in terms of the survivors being inconvenienced by that Spitter. And this also is going to be Bravo lurching forward to try to get those common clear, but he is going to be intercepted by this jockey in the hands of Domi and almost gets him jockeyed around the corner. The Hunter's going to land in the back, and that was one of the only misplays we've really seen positionally from Stuck in Rotation so far. Bravo trying to get that aggressive common clear, but that jockey was able to latch onto him for a decent amount of damage. Nice double boom now, going out in the back onto the back to survivors being Coach and Nick, but that's not going to prevent the survivors in the front from clearing into the pool room. They are going to have to drop in order to spawn this tank, and again, they'll have the option of having either the entire team drop or having like a 2-2 split to keep the pool room, but it's a precarious situation to be in on survivor side if you screw up your positioning, because they can easily get double capped if they don't all go together. It's a jockey, Hunter, Smoker, and a Spitter as well for the next hit from the Keyboard Warriors. Let's see if they're able to send it and get any kind of damage as this Hunter's looking to wall kick, trying to find his way onto Ellis, but Ram had absolutely none of that with a pure shutdown going there, aside from a couple ticks of damage onto Bravo. And because the hit is dead, now the survivors can actually just split 2 and 2, get the tank spawned up, and then make their way back to the pool room. But the tank is also wise to this, seeing that they're split. He's going to go directly in, looking for this down onto Bravo, who hasn't yet been able to pop his pills. Charger gets the down onto him. Tank has 3,400 HP, looking to recommit now onto Stuck in Rotation. I thought they would be okay because the hit was dead. Not so far, as this is going to be another in-cap going out onto Yams. The Boomer did miss as the tank turns around, getting a hit onto Ram. Charger gets shut down. Slay now getting juked a little bit into the corner, but not before massive damage has gone out. The survivor is stuck in the ceiling, and he teleports away for a Left 4 Dead 2 juke onto that tank. 2 in caps going out there. That very, very, very easily could have been the wipe. And we see that now it's possible for that tank to intercept them in the bar. That is something that Keyboard Warriors are going to have to keep in mind for their half. But now we see a Pounce Spit going out onto Ellis. He's going to get pulled down into the Death Spit for even more damage. This is the most alive I think we've seen Keyboard Warriors Special Infected. Great decision by Slay to go in, and it was really unfortunate for him that Ram got caught in the ceiling, and I think that caused one punch to miss, and then that amazing teleportation juke that we saw to happen, and that easily could have been 3 downs. The survivors are bleeding now, and they have an entire event to take. They're probably going to try to jump across at the earliest opportunity. Charger, Jockey, and Hunter for this SI hit. Kind of staggered going in, but now the Charger is going to try to land on the coach and manages to find it, but the spit is nowhere to be seen. That is unfortunate for Keyboard Warriors on the SI. You have to wonder if that tank wasn't just a little tilting just due to the fact Left 4 Dead 2 decided to be Left 4 Dead 2 in that circumstance, but they still have a lot of bonus to knock off of Stuck in Rotation. They're at 22.6 in terms of health bonus, but 75.1 in terms of DB, and that is where you want to be at so long as you're able to take these hits effectively. It's a 2-2, looking to go in now for Keyboard Warriors. Smoker Pull is going to go out, and then there's an intercept going out onto Rochelle, but the Spitter decides to spit for free spit damage versus on that Pounce, and I think that's going to be able to cause the survivors, as they pop the rest of their pills, to jump across and go, as we see Bravo doing in the front. The Smoker might be able to try to find some last-second intercept, but decides actually not to go for it because it's going to be a Charger, Jockey, and Boomer joining him on this next hit. All 3 of these survivors right now, aside from Adam, are going to be bleeding the rest of this map unless they get pills in front, potentially at the kill cabinet, the pill cabinet, or upstairs. And they are just happily killing the rest of this horde inside with no Spitter to be worried about as they work their way down. Boomer spawns up and is going to get shut down very fast. The rest of the hit looks like it wants to go potentially from up top as the survivors make their way through this choke. Jockey lands in front. Charger is not going to land as well, but that was a nice pull in the back for a double cap, getting almost as much damage as you could hope for in that area, but that Charger was focused down as Stuck in Rotation keep rolling through this map. Because they're all still fast, the distance points are really not a problem for them. I expect them to make the safe room on this, unless they get like quadded or some kind of insane multi-charge and spit. But that is also going to put the pressure on Keyboard Warriors to do the exact same, because they're going to be dealing a hefty, hefty blow to Keyboard Warriors' hopes of winning this if they manage to make it with the bonus that they have. Boomer tries to bunny hop in front, but does get shut down. Hunter and Spitter land in the back for a decent amount of damage onto Yams, who then also gets his head jumped on by the Spitter. That was a decent amount of damage to that damage bonus, and now they probably have to fight one more hit, depending on Yams being slow, in the back. The SI are just going to be coming probably from behind, getting whatever they possibly can onto him, as they're going to have that Jockey, Boomer, Charger, but already the survivors are able to block some of these forward spawns. Everything's going to be coming from one direction on the SI. Boomer trying to get some kind of boom there, not quite working. Ram trying to kite them out. Nice skeet going out, but he is going to get charged with no spit damage on top of that. Stuck in Rotation make the safe room and bring their campaign total to 3,824 on their home server. 14-11 for Keyboard Warriors right now, and I'll say the exact same thing that I did last map. They need to not take a massive amount of damage on this tank. And it's possible to do that, but with the tank also able to intercept the way that we saw, it could be extremely precarious for them. If they get wiped here, that's going to be a mountain for them to climb on the South American server. It's still doable because of how this game's gone so far. We easily can see Keyboard Warriors do the same on the next game, but Stuck in Rotation have come to play in this match, and their SI has been, as I said, probably the story of this match so far, just by how well they've been able to do it. They're going to look to continue doing exactly that with this first hit. It's a Spitter, a Hunter, a Boomer, and that Smoker. So not a great potential for damage once again, but with this higher ping opposition, they might be able to land it. And it's going to be Ramirez's tank as well for Stuck in Rotation once we get there. Glow play coming out from the survivors as they work their way out of the safe room, just doing the best they can to clear combat and also potentially pre-fire one of those spawns above them. The hunter is going to spawn up now with that boomer looking potentially to rocket from the opposite side. Let's see if they're able to do just that. Nice double cap landing with the triple boom and the spit going out in the corner. That is the most you could have asked for on a hit like that. A good even 42 damage as they push forward from that. That's something where, again, even though that hit didn't have a mass amount of damage potential, they got the most damage out of it in terms of how they hit. So this is now going to be Keyboard Warriors walking their way forward into a bit of Horde, looking at rocket spawns with a better hit on the special infected side as well. Jockey, Charger, Hunter, and Boomer for the next hit here. Let's see if they decide indeed to rocket that in. Jockey pre-spawned, making noise maybe on the top of that roof. And the Hunter's going to wall kick from the back, managing to land. Charger does whiff the charge as the double boom lands. Jockey does get a momentary ride, and that Charger got a couple of punches as that Boomer was able to get a 3 boom now. So again, mostly everything landing, and even when it didn't, they managed to get damage. That's exactly what you want on the special infected side. And now the question comes into play: how are Keyboard Warriors going to take this tank, considering Ram could easily intercept them in the same way that Slay did if they dropped 2 and 2. I honestly thought that was going to be a wipe, or close to it, on the last half, and it very easily could be the same thing here. Jockey spawning up in the back, gets shut down as the Spitter, Hunter, and Smoker are the rest of this hit for Keyboard Warriors, and indeed they are going to drop 2 survivors down so far, now 3, now 4, so we're going to see a different strategy for this on Survivor side. Everybody going to be working their way back to the street. They do have a pounce landing on to Rochelle, but no spit going out on top of that due to her position on top of the balustrade there. And now Ramirez is going to be climbing into the pool room, and that's going to force the survivors to take this tank in the street. They kind of have to know that he's in there at this point if they heard him climbing that ladder. He's trying to be sneaky about it as well, and it looks as though he might decide to commit from the window. This Boomer is going to be looking to get a spawn behind the bus. That could be devastating for Keyboard Warriors with this ping. Charger and Jockey are the other 2. Curve Rock going in, landing on the bus with no damage, but he could get one of these to work before he decides to commit. He's not taking really any chip whatsoever, and it's again a Susie for the survivors, so more damage at close range, and they better be putting it out onto this tank right now as he gets a punch onto Coach, retargeting onto Rochelle. The Boomer, though, is going to die as the distance suits are now doing work, and Rochelle is standing on top of a windowsill in one of the best positions I think I've seen. Charger gets leveled, and that is a nice take. I would say easily the best take so far in probably the hardest area to fight the tank by Keyboard Warriors. That Boomer shutdown was essential as he tried to get it from the top, and Rochelle was able to find just a little leverage there on that ledge to avoid that corner. So well done by Keyboard Warriors on Survivor. They need to keep this bonus and work their way forward. If they can make it anywhere near the safe room with this, that might be the saving grace that they need in this home and away series. Boomer, Hunter, Smoker, Spitter looking to go in, but a beautiful skeet going out by Domi, and Knock is going to get pulled into the spit, but that was the kind of shutdown that they needed onto the Hunter to really avoid any damage. That Smoker was on top of that man's head and was not able to scratch him for any damage, unfortunately, for the SI. And now we're seeing Knock push his way forward and trying to clear as much common as possible without getting separated from his team. Jockey's going to be bouncing around below, again, maybe trying to make some noise. Not sure if the survivors can actually hear it, because LOL Left 4 Dead 2, as the survivors are going to now work their way forward into this room spawn, and now drop off with that Hunter landing. The Charger whiffs as that Jockey is now going to land on the bottom for just a bit of damage, along with one Charger fist to Ellis's face, but no real multi-cap going out. They have an event that they can deal with now. One survivor gets boomed, and this could easily be a map where Keyboard Warriors are able to turn on their W powers as well to bring this game back to some kind of equilibrium that we've seen on this North American server. Hunter, Smoker, Spitter, and one more spawn coming into queue. 4 stuck in rotation is going to constitute this hit before they cross. It is going to be a Jockey, so no Charger. But again, a nice amount of damage potential able to land here as the Hunter is going to go for a DP. Not going to land, but there is the triple cap going out. Jockey landing on Rochelle at the bottom. Smoker landing on Coach up top. Another beautiful hit by Stuck in Rotation as their SI gets that full down and more. Knock is going to really be trying to get this pick up before any other spawns can go in, and then they need to really pop and go on this map, but they're going to be dealing with another hit as they work their way forward. Both Domi and Neg saving their pills so far, as they still have 66% damage bonus and 13.7% HP. Definitely workable for them. One boom does go out onto Rochelle. Hunter and Charger looking to spawn in the front. Charger jumping for it in the bathroom, landing it onto Rochelle, as we saw the Pounce land and the Smoker land too, so these pinners still doing work, but now they have crossed the most brutal choke in the map, and if they find any kind of pills up ahead, they will still be able to remain fast. Crucial map for them as they go forward. They need all 700 of these distance points as they work their way into the street. They have absolutely no time to wait around. Slay is going to be perma-slow here, and everybody is bleeding out as well, so next hit from Stuck in Rotation could do some major work. Boomer, Spitter, Hunter, and Jockey. You know, you usually don't expect 2-2s to do a whole lot, but inside a building like this, if they manage to get a Pounce and a Spit and a Boom Stumble or something like that, it could be devastating, and the Jockey's going to land in the front. That is going to be the Spit going down. Luckily for Keyboard Warriors, they were able to mitigate that damage that time, even though they took that double boom on their way. Spitter is also now basically saving up top, probably going to try to get some kind of charger, but this, as we can see, is definitely Stuck in Rotations. This is the one map where they haven't been able to really corral Keyboard Warriors. It's definitely Keyboard Warriors' best performance so far. The SI has still been decent, of course, by Team Stuck in Rotation, but they only have a couple more hits to do damage to this. There's a double charge going in with a Hunter in the front. Just as I said it, they land another triple cap. This has been a clinic, honestly, on Special Infected side from Stuck in Rotation for the entirety of this game. Like, if you look at maps 1 through 4, they've gotten more multi-caps and probably more triple caps than I can count on one hand. And that is what you need to be doing to maximize your home server. Keyboard Warriors, though, not out of it yet as they fight for all of these distance points they possibly can. No more bonus to their names, and there's a charge Spit going out onto Slay. He is going to be... Actually, that wasn't Slay that got down. That was Neg who got down. I thought Slay was going to also have that Spit onto him as well, but all of them are at 2 HP, 6 HP, 15 HP, and now 30 HP. They have absolutely no bonus left, and they are just eking out these last 30 distance points as the survivors work their way forward. That Smoker is not going to get the in-cap onto Slay, who is now crouching and trying to get as much damage as he can with this silenced Uzi, and there's going to be 2 SI dying in order with that Hunter and Jockey both shut down, and a spray of a goat as the survivors pop that boomer and make their way to the safe room. This map was sorely needed for Keyboard Warriors, and they do manage to make the safe room where it matters the most. We are going to see a 1,713 point delta between these two teams going to the South American server. It's still doable, but it's going to be a challenge for Keyboard Warriors. 3,824 to 2,111 for North America. Don't go anywhere, because we are going to bring you that South American server for the second half of this game as soon as we possibly can. Is it muted now? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now here for the second half of this home and away series between teams Stuck in Rotation and Keyboard Warriors. I do believe we might just be waiting for one more to join to stream this match. I don't know if Fitz was going to be doing that or not, but I think we're still missing two of the casters from the last server. Either way, this is going to be the second half of this game, as I mentioned, and the pings, honestly, for teams Stuck in Rotation are looking pretty decent, between 136 and 183 total, as we have all green for Keyboard Warriors. We are readying up, we are going live, and we have a 1.7k point difference between these two teams. Stuck in Rotation, starting on Survivor side first on the away, going to be getting a jockey landing, a charger landing for a bit of damage, and a free spit going in, but no multicap hitting there, and no charge spit either. This tank is going to be up on map 1 once again at 75%. Quickly on the roster, Stuck in Rotation once again is Adam, Brubs, Ramirez, and Yams, and Team Keyboard Warriors are Kyan, aka Knock, Neg, Slay, and Domi. They definitely have work to do on the special infected side of things, and it starts with this first map tank. We have a Jockey, Smoker, Hunter, and Boomer for the first hit for Keyboard Warriors after that opening hit. And now it's going to be a Smoker landing. Hunter lands at 16 damage pounds. Jockey manages to land onto a Survivor in the front. That's a decent amount of damage going on to Yams. And a pull going out as well for a beautiful double cap. And actually, that Jockey is not clear, getting brought all the way forward as this tank in the hands of Knock is going to be able to get this down next to the Jockey. That is devastating for Team Stuck in Rotation. What a stupendous hit with that Smoker and that Jockey doing absolute work. That is a death already, unless the survivors decide to try to push forward. They are extremely split right now on the side of Stuck in Rotation with this tank. You know, they have to guarantee this kill. They have to guarantee this kill, and then he has to recommit. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be seeing them do, but it would turn into a completely insane fight here if it doesn't happen. Tank's going to be jumping in, landing a punch as they are trying to get this guaranteed kill out. Yams is going to die as that charger lands. Boomer drops in too, and it's just a W mode going out from Ram. He is out of there and gone, as Knock is going to be trying to catch him, and he's right there, and he manages to do so. The tank is standing in front of the safe room like a goalkeeper right now as Ram runs to him and gets punched for his trouble, jumping on top of the alarm car. This is competitive Left 4 Dead 2. He's going for a melee skeet with that frying pan, and is not getting it whatsoever. He whacks the Jockey across the face and then gets pulled and charged into a corner. Great job by Knock to cut him off, and that is just as fast as we could have seen it on that wipe with that Jockey forward that nobody was able to clear in the middle of that multi-boom. Already, Keyboard Warriors are going to be looking to make up some of the 1,700 point delta on this map. If they can just kill the tank and make the safe room, that's already going to put them in a great position. And it's honestly, in a hit like that, right, where everybody was right next to one another, the Common were the difference maker in that, because with this higher ping, Stuck in Rotation weren't able to get unlocked from those Common and kill the Jockey before it brought Yams all the way around the corner and through that alley. So action already flying really fast as we're on the second half of map 1 here. The bait is going out, but that Jockey's going to land onto a Survivor who is going to be taking so much spit damage as the death charge lands on to Neg. I cannot believe that that just happened. It was the free charge that went out, and now that's, again, just 3 survivors left. This first map in total is going to take less than 5 or 6 minutes, I'm fairly sure, because Keyboard Warriors now have to try to kill this tank, but that free charge, it just got a brilliant opportunity to land, and the survivors just weren't ready for it that way. They didn't juke it, they didn't even focus the charger down. There was so much action going on to Domi from standing in those trash bags with that spit and jockey going out that there was just no chance for that to be solved. And honestly, Yams is going to get this tank right here, but Stuck in Rotation have evaded disaster just based on that charge. That is shocking to see happen, especially because it's Keyboard Warriors' home server. So unfortunate for them. The tank is here to get some kind of intercept, as the one boom has also gone out. He's going to be working his way in, and if it's going to be a wipe right here, that's another 100 points for Team Keyboard Warriors to have to make up, instead of them just even making the safe room with 4. Tank trying to get the punch out onto Slay. Knock is the only survivor really left back up, as Slay is going to get cornered, and that pounce is going to go out onto him. What an amazing start now for both Team Special Infected, but particularly for Stuck in Rotations. That was incredible to see. And it's a charge that needs absolutely no help, because you just charge off that roof, and if a survivor is standing on the plank, they just get immediately yeeted off the dock into the water. Catastrophe for Stuck in Rotation avoided, as Team Keyboard Warriors now are going to be playing by 100 points behind on their home server with a 1.8k delta now to deal with. That is one of those mistakes that you just absolutely cannot make, especially on your home server that way. So this is going to be an uphill battle for them going forward. They have to make up 1.8k in 3 maps, average of 600 points every single map, and this tank is going to be in the open field once again here. I think at like 23% or something like that. I'll make sure that they actually set the rotation correctly there. Yeah, okay, so 27%, and we need to have Ram and someone on Survivor, right? Neg and Ram have to swap, but I'm still kind of gobsmacked by the fact the Death Charge landed in that way, especially when it seemed like that was finally the Special Infected play that Keyboard Warriors needed, but they're going to have to do a lot of work in a short amount of time now, just based on that first map. And Stuck in Rotation, they're going to be on Survivor side once again with the higher ping. We'll see if they decide to change anything, but I don't really think they're going to allow something like that jockey to happen again, because it's just something that it was something that they couldn't avoid because of how hoarded they were. But they're going to be a bit more careful, potentially on Survivor side. As we go live here, Neg is going to get this tank, and we'll see what he's able to do with it after we see this first 2-2. It is a Hunter, Boomer, Spitter, and the last spawn is going to be that Smoker for Slay as he's working to get a pull around the corner. So let's see how this happens. Boomer's going to be looking to get an arc boom from behind that van. Hunter spawns up and is going to land on a survivor in the safe room as we see the Smoker pull go out, but that tongue is not going to last, and that boom will get a little bit of damage onto Yams in the corner there, but he's able to M2 most of it away as his team goes to clear him. Decent amount of damage off that first hit in terms of chip, but this tank is going to have to work some kind of miracle, I would say, for Team Keyboard Warriors, most likely with these hittables. Going to be a Charger, Spitter, Hunter, and a Jockey for the next hit, so a decent 3-1 with that spit. I don't even think they're going to be able to send it before that tank spawn is up. Neg is going to try to, charging and punching a survivor into that hedge, and there's going to be a bit of free spit damage going out onto Adam as that Jockey lands onto Yams in the corner there. So the SI are landing for Keyboard Warriors, but the entire story of this game, home and away, has been Stuck in Rotation Special Infected play, and that Death Charge just completely affirmed that as we see this tank trying to get this dumpster in. Neg going to be looking to do to Team Stuck in Rotation what they did to him. Dumpster is going to go flying, though, on the right-hand side behind a wall. That is a pretty bad spot, honestly, for him to have to get it, and it looks as though he won't actually be able to. He's going to be transitioning inside the park as this Charger, Smoker, Boomer are still in the queue. I think he's going for the car, and then this is going to be a question for Stuck in Rotation. Do they run forward? And it looks like the answer is absolutely, as they start making their way through this map. The Boomer is not going to spawn yet either. Neg is in the Himalayas compared to where they are. He's trying to keep sight as they work their way back, but this is now going to be a push-pull with this tank who's on 40%, keeping Rage on the top of those hedges. And now the survivors are just going to decide to book it anyway. With that Boomer spawning up, getting a single boom though. Double boom now onto Ellis and Rochelle. Charger spawns in as well, is going to get cleared. Boomer is going to get punched by the tank and die. This is going to be pretty precarious for Stuck in Rotation if that hittable mats get into play, but the Horde is already all dead from that double boom. Tank getting absolutely railed as he goes down that alley, getting his first punch from a smoker pull assist there onto Yams, but he is in the middle of nowhere trying to get this corner now onto Yams, but nothing really going. Rock's gonna go in, not really finding much of anything. This tank has 146 HP left, and he's going to get out, trying to climb up here, but he is deader than dead with that 146 HP left. Not exactly, again, what Keyboard Warriors were hoping for. They have an entire event to deal with in their future, but it's really, really not enough, I would say, considering the fact Stuck in Rotation still have this lead that hasn't really gone anywhere at all based on this game so far. Still only almost one in-cap going out onto Yams. Nobody taking it down from that, and only one survivor bleeding. Keyboard Warriors need to have something incredible happen during this event, I'm feeling, because if Stuck in Rotation get anywhere near the safe room with this bonus, it's going to be extremely hard for Keyboard Warriors to bring that back. Charger and Hunter already in the queue, plus a Spitter. Looks as though the survivors are going to be taking one hit inside the trailer before deciding to either run forward or back. This is where you need to have that Spitter land on top of the table, and then you have to try to have some kind of multi-cap in a very short space with that Charger, Smoker, and Hunter. Let's see if they're able to do something at all like that. It's going to come down to where the Spitter places it, as we do see the charge landing inside with the pounce, but the Spit is now going to find its way inside. That was a melting hit going on to Stuck in Rotation. That is exactly what Keyboard Warriors need. I was concerned about the Spit for a second, but it ended up not mattering because it did spread throughout that entire trailer as the survivors are trying to fight through common. They're still a little bit split, actually, with one survivor just running all the way in the front. They can clear each other, though, through these alleys due to the fact it's just a fence and that thin wall. Charger, Boomer, Hunter, and Jockey for the next hit now from Keyboard Warriors. Let's see if they're able to send it. The survivors are stopping in the middle of this alley because they know it's going to be coming. Jockey lands. That's going to be a Charger whiffing, and the Hunter does get a damage pounce onto the jockeyed survivor, but no multi-cap as Domi spawns up and gets a single boom onto Yams, who is the slow survivor in the back, getting scratched for his troubles as well by that Boomer one time. He does take pills and will now be fast. Adam is at exactly 40 HP, so he cannot afford another common to hit him or for any friendly fire, or else he will go slow. Two survivors slow in this area on that ping is really not what you want to see, but now the event is going to be shut off by Ramirez, who's also holding the bulk of that health bonus at 81. So now we do have a 3-cap with Spit. Hunter, Jockey, Smoker looking to make their way in on Team Stuck in Rotation. There's a pull going out. Jockey manages to land as well. Hunter does get skeeted, though, by Bravo on the floor there. Survivors dropping now because just that Spitter is left after already needing a recharge, and they're going to try to work their way through the bus depot. Making it with this bonus would be extremely helpful for them on this away server, considering how this game has gone so far. That death charge stole all of the momentum from Keyboard Warriors after that opening half map. This game is still pretty much going at Stuck in Rotation's pace. They're going to be standing on the side here in front of the van, getting a one boom to land, with the Hunter looking as well, landing on top. Everything pretty much going out onto Ram, except now he's going to be charged across the map. Does get cleared. Yams does eat the double charge there, but the Spit had already gone down. Onto nothing, because I don't think it actually spreads on top of that box truck. Unfortunate for Keyboard Warriors, but very, very nicely done by Team Stuck in Rotation. 225 HP and 64 damage bonus, plus that set of pills that they just found. Smoker's going to try to get a pull in the back. but nothing really going as of yet. Spit's going to be pre-fired down onto the survivors. As the jockey gets M2'd, Boomer gets a triple boom. The smoker is going to die, and that should be really the last damage, aside from someone accidentally incapping Yams or him getting hit by Common, and that actually is what's going to happen as the survivors close the safe room door, trying to tank the rest of the horde. Team Stuck in Rotation make this map on their away server, bringing their total to 974 points on the SA server. Might be stating a little bit of the obvious here, but this is not the start that Team Keyboard Warriors need to get back into this game. The delta now is just about 2,500 points prior to their round here, and as we mentioned before, in order for them to win this now, they would need to average 600 points over Stuck in Rotation. That doesn't have a great amount of chance of happening here unless their survivor play is immaculate. It's doable with this tank, don't get me wrong, but they are going to have to take every hit easily, right? Then this first hit already has a great amount of damage potential just because of the fact that this 2-2 off this safe room roof, you can get a pounce, a spit, a stumble. You know, Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, Spitter in this area is alright, but every single hit, the pressure is on Keyboard Warriors now, because if they get any kind of multi-cap, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. They do manage to shut down most of this hit until that pounce lands on top of the car. Slay is going to take a decent amount from that, 33 damage from that 2-2, just thanks to that pounce and spit. Bravo is going to get to play this tank once more. He got it on the last server and was able to get about 5 hits or something like that onto the survivors, but Keyboard Warriors need to bring a massive bonus to the safe room through these attacks. The park is a bit easier, of course, than the event, with a Charger, Jockey, Boomer, and Smoker in the queue. The Special Infected, though, are not going to send that, instead choosing to send the Boomer now as the tank spawns up into the hands of Bravo himself. He is going to be going immediately, it would seem, for that car on the opposite side of this hedge maze, and the survivors might be forced to take him forward once again, but they're going to have a Charger and Smoker in the spawn queue at the same time. Still on his grace period, Bravo's at 100% first pass, and now is going to be whipping this car across the map, but it's already in vain as the survivors are working their way forward. Charger and Hunter are both setting up in front as the survivors are pushing their way forward. They actually might be looking to go all the way forward, because they're clearing out here and they can fight the tank in this area pretty well. He's going to be on second pass, making his way in with a 3-cap for support. He's going to be hard-pressed to get that initial corner if the survivors just kite him around, as they're doing right now, getting the pull and the punch onto Ellis as that skeet went out by Domi, tanking another punch onto Slay. There's the in cap. We do have another Smoker pull trying to go out, and this dumpster is looking to grind Slay into the ground. It's not going to be happening, however, because the survivors are wise to it, and Rochelle manages to barely juke that dumpster in the end of that fight. So, one in cap again going out now. Slay is going to be popping pills, but this bonus is what Team Keyboard Warriors need. They have a gauntlet of hits to run for here, starting with this one potentially in the trailer, but I don't think they're even going to be sticking around for that. They're going to be working their way forward as a unit with a Boomer, Hunter, Jockey, and the aforementioned Spitter waiting for them. Hunter is spawned up top, going in. Jockey gets melted and shut down after latching for a second. Free Spit does go out as that Hunter is going to die. Just the Boomer in the hands of Bravo, jumping down right now and getting a beautiful triple boom, almost a proxy onto Ellis for the quad. But here's the kind of health bonus that Keyboard Warriors need. They're going to be getting the they're going to be getting the distance Uzi from that table, and it looks as though Slay is just a bit in the back as this next hit comes into queue. Charger, Smoker, Jockey, and that last spawn coming up is going to be that Spitter. So, charge spit potential versus a quad here, and Keyboard Warriors are sitting on top of these porta potties, doing the best that they can to shoot all the common before it gets anywhere close to them. Hit coming in though, pull is going to go out onto Nick, and that Charger tried to rocket in as well, wasn't quite able to get it, unfortunately for him, and that spit is left to just get some kind of free spit damage, which it does onto Domi, but Domi is hell-bent on pushing forward now and turning off that alarm as these spawns are down. This has been the survivor play we've needed from Keyboard Warriors to keep this game close, I would say, and they now have the advantage of being above the Special Infected versus getting those rocket spawns onto them. Boomer gets pretty easily shut down. Hunter and Jockey looking as well, but that is going to be one survivor who's down below, being knocked in the area you really don't want to be. Spit is going to mostly miss just a couple ticks of damage as that Jockey almost got cleared. And this is now where I think Keyboard Warriors are going to be engaging their W keys as much as possible, moving their way through this bus depot. Smoker's going to be climbing to the roof along with that Spitter, Charger, and that Boomer. So another 2-2 here as the survivors work their way into the wide open, clearing common as much as they can. All the event horde really coming from different directions now, from the back and the front, as that Boomer does land a single boom onto Neg. And that is going to be now a pretty dangerous 3-1, moving above the survivors as they work their way forward. Those rocket spawns can be extremely precarious for the survivor team and their bonus, as this Charger is going to jump in, managing to land onto Ellis, who is the damage bonus, as this Smoker was also looking to get a couple scratches onto Neg, managing to do so. He's at just about 52 HP. No worries really in terms of going slow there. The Hunter does run up and scratch Domi just for a bit of damage, but that is going to be Keyboard Warriors making the map with the bonus that they need, bringing their home server total to 1,254. They now have to make up just about 1,400 points in the next 2 maps. That means that they need to wipe on this tank map 3, make the safe room with bonus, or just find a way to wipe Stuck in Rotation, period, in terms of what they're doing on map 3, and then do the same thing on map 4. This is really, it's not favorable for them in terms of the odds. I'll say that much. I mean, the Death Charge map 1 is really what this all comes back to, because had they been able to just kill that tank and make it, this would be a completely different game. But one mistake like that in a series like this is exactly how you see teams like Stuck in Rotation take advantage of it and make their way forward. As we now see the teams swapping once again. Let's make sure they do set the tank percentage as well, unless we're going to be seeing a live here. Right, there it is, percent of tank. It should be like 70, no, that's, wait. No, it wasn't 69, it wasn't 83, it was something like 36, yeah. I don't think there was a tank on this map. Hopefully they figure it out, that I do believe it was 36. There we go, 37. And the thing is, it'll potentially make the survivors walk into that room again, because we thought it was going to spawn before that, but then it didn't actually happen. So they might have to take another hit like that. Yeah, 36 and a half is decent enough. We're just waiting now on Slay to ready up for Team Keyboard Warriors. We'll see if the tank does spawn a bit later like it did on the North American server. And if the captain doesn't know, I don't know either. I respect that from Neg. Yeah, and same for Ram. You know, considering the fact that he is the captain, of course, of Team Stuck in Rotation. It will be Ram's tank on this special infected side as we see Keyboard Warriors getting ready to move their way out of the safe room. A Hunter, Spitter, Jockey, and a Boomer for this hit. Boomer spawns up top, going for the Arc Boom, not going to land. The Hunter does manage to land, however, and the Jockey is going to be looking for a scratch or two as it gets M2'd and shut down. They need a big bonus on this map for Team Keyboard Warriors, and it starts with the shutting down of that tank. Ram is going to be, he's actually the player on Stuck in Rotation who has the highest ping here. Him and Bravo pinging almost the same at 181. Still extremely playable for them, and they should really be able to, you know, make their way in as SI with a fair amount of coordination, I'll say, just because of how they've been playing so far. And we're going to see the survivors push their way forward now, almost past this room, which is the deadliest choke. Rochelle managing to block those spawns, though, at the same point as Neg is coming up in the back the same way. Smoker Pool is going to go out onto him. Charger lands in front onto Coach. Spit is going to be a step late, however, as Domi is going to try to go forward, but that was actually still a good amount of damage onto him, plus a bit of free spit damage onto Slay. So still seeing that excellent SI coordination from Stuck in Rotation despite the high ping. But now this tank fight is going to be everything for Keyboard Warriors. If they wipe, the game's over. If they take the same amount of damage that they took on the last server here, the game is also most likely over. But we do have this quad cap attempt coming in now from Stuck in Rotation. Hunter gets skeeted. Charger goes in and takes the pull target as this Jockey manages to land onto Slay for a bit more damage. But that's going to be the tank spawn. And if you notice, It didn't spawn when the survivors went into the room, it spawned beforehand, so this server was actually right in terms of the tank percentage versus the other one. Ram's going to have this tank throwing an underhanded rock out onto that trailer, but the survivors are going to be seeing exactly where he is as he curves that rock also around the corner. He's most likely going to commit from the house on the left-hand side because that is the way that you avoid taking most of that chip, but this Charger, Hunter, Boomer are going to be looking to potentially rocket in on the survivors. Once again, the Susie chip not really doing much of anything. We do see a single boom going out onto Domi, and that is going to trigger Ram to commit through this house as the survivors are going to be killing the rest of this horde. He is going to be able to get some early work onto them as that Hunter manages to land, throwing a rock, landing onto Domi, getting the initial corner. He is now down to just under 3k HP with just a Charger in the queue. Charger manages to land though on the Slay. Rage Rock goes out on top of that. Another corner now going to be put into place by Ram, spreading that damage brilliantly as that jockey gets M2'd. That is like a down and a half from that tank, and the SI set up their tank beautifully with that because it is a very wide open area, almost impossible to get that wipe by getting an initial corner first. But that was a great example of stuck in rotation, taking what they could, and now Keyboard Warriors need to maintain this bonus and not throw it away somehow on one of these hits in between. Spitter, Smoker, Hunter, and Boomer for the next hit. It is that 2-2 with that Smoker up top looking to land. There is the Pound Spit going out, plus the Boomer proxy onto Rochelle, but she luckily does manage to escape it fairly fast and then does jump around the Spit Puddle as the survivors work their way forward. Stuck in rotation now, thinking about what they want for that SI hit either in the sewer or at the ladder, or maybe even a combination of both, who knows. But they're going to have to be pretty careful with their spawns here, because if Keyboard Warriors can kill this hit and then push their way through the impound lot, that would be the best way for them trying to make this safe room with how much bonus they actually have. Hunter, Boomer, Charger, and Jockey for the hit, and that means stuck in rotation are going to be looking at the ladder choke versus the sewer. This is going to be interesting to see if they try to get some kind of arc boom onto the survivors and then a spawn kill to try to get another spawn, but I don't know if they're actually going to do that or just send the entire hit as they would with the survivors boomed. Having green ping here definitely does help Keyboard Warriors just because the common, if they are going to trigger any, are easier to kill, but I still would not want to see some kind of multi-boom and then a multi-cap attempt coming in onto them. We have Knock baiting the ledge here of that manhole. One boom does go out, the rest of the spawns are up top, but this is going to be them clearing all the common from the impound lot before they decide to go up. Here's the baiting timer though, however, and that Boomer is still alive. Bravo looking for a reboom of some kind as the Jockey and Charger also spawn. The thing about these common is that they can be so deadly to the survivors by blocking them on that ladder, and the reboom lands as well. This is going to be even more precarious now for Keyboard Warriors. The Boomer dies. They are up that ladder. The Hunter lands below. Charger lands up top. Jockey looking for the intercept as that Charger beats Neg into the ground with 2 pounds there. That was a great job by Stuck in Rotation, once again, getting as much damage as they could. This bonus is still pretty hefty for Keyboard Warriors, and that was probably one of the most dangerous hits they had to deal with, but they're going to be looking to climb this ladder soon with no car shot in the impound lot. Smoker, Spitter, Boomer, and a Hunter for the rest of this attack that we're going to see go in right now, but actually just the Smoker went there, and then the Hunter also did die, as the survivors will be working their way forward. Boomer spawns up in the back, not getting anything, and this Spitter is going to be forced to spit from a distance and then probably get a despawn, depending on what we're seeing here. So that will not be any kind of quad cap attempt. We do have the survivors all fast, finding another set of pills as they push their way forward, but this is shaping up to be a game that's going to be decided really by this tank on the next half that Keyboard Warriors have. They need to get some kind of wipe on that tank. Charger spawns up in the front, not able to find much of anything. Nice double cap though from that Smoker and that Jockey. Free spit damage as well. Knock was pushing forward there in the 8. Just a decent amount of damage from that spit. I was surprised to see that happen, but this is going to be Keyboard Warriors working their way close to the safe room. Domi, though, is slow in the back as this hit is threatening to come up for Stuck in Rotation. It's going to be a Hunter, Boomer, Charger, and a Smoker for the rest of this attack, combining with this area that's pretty easy to get the clears in, I would say, because they can just hold S. Indeed, that's what they do. But one survivor was behind, that being Neg. He's going to get pulled for another bit of damage, and he's going to be going slow off of that as the survivors work their way into the safe room. Respectable bonus for sure, but now it comes down to what their SI do, bringing their total for their server to 2,266 versus 973. It is all on this special infected round that we are about to witness. Best case scenario, right? They get a couple good hits before the tank and then manage to get the wipe. That would still put them about 800 points, I think, behind team stuck in rotation. So as long as stuck in rotation continue doing what they've done so far in this game, aside from map 1, right? Like last map, they were actually able to make their way to the safe room. This would be the point where that just cannot be allowed to happen on the side of Keyboard Warriors. They've had a couple opportunities to try and get back in front of them, but it comes back down to that ridiculous death charge on map 1 that actually managed to land. And this will be now stuck in rotation's chance. If they're able to kill this tank and make any kind of distance, it's going to be pretty much over by the time we get to map 4. It would be unfortunate for Team Keyboard Warriors, of course, but they have another chance to try to bring this game back into some kind of winnable fashion for them, but distance points are everything here too. 4 stuck in rotation as we go live. It's going to be that 2-2 Boomer Hunter Spitter and Jockey for the Special Infected. Let's see if they manage to get some kind of multi-cap on this. Doable in this spot, but the survivors are being pretty cautious about it as they now work their way outside. Boomer is going to miss the arc boom, except onto Coach as that Jockey gets M2'd shut down. There is a pounce spit for the SI on this, as the Boomer is also going to die last. So this will be another pretty strong hit, I think, for the Special Infected as they go forward, but stuck in rotation, taking what they can as they move forward. I expect to see another hit probably around the room here, or when the survivors decide to go up the stairs and around the corner. Going to be a Smoker, Charger, Jockey, and that last spawn for Neg is going to be that Hunter for the quad cap. A quad here would be exactly what they need. But, again, pretty tall order just based on how stuck in rotation have been playing. It's a dangerous situation for them, but they have to make this immaculate. As that Smoker spawns in the back, already getting shot down to 148 HP. Charger rockets in, managing to get it. There's the triple cap, but the Hunter got it! Oh my goodness, that is the quad cap going out from Keyboard Warriors onto Team Stuck in Rotation. Oh my god! That is one of the most clutch hits I've seen in the history of Left 4 Dead 2. That just changed absolutely everything. It's just a 500-point difference now going into map 4. I am in shock. That was absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. It's a 500-point game now into map 4. They needed that. They needed that more than absolutely anything they could have possibly got. And that Smoker spawning behind, I thought when he got chipped down by like 100 points, that was going to be a failed quad. But instead, they actually managed to get it. The momentum just shifted in one of the most unbelievable ways, because that is definitely doable. With that tank, it's Keyboard Warriors to get a wipe there. They could try another quad attempt, but that was picture perfect. Absolutely picture perfect. And so long as they set the tank spawn, we should be alright. Wait. Okay. Yeah, they need to change the tank spawn, I think, to something like 47%. We have an all-talk vote being voted by Ramirez. I think that was accidental. Hopefully they actually managed to get that and do the vote boss, or we might actually have to have a quick restart of this map. That was obviously, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think your server can handle all attack. It'll go into 30 tick. Yeah, the captains didn't remember. So they need to change that now, or just restart the round, most likely. I don't know if they can actually vote boss after it's gone live, and indeed we're gonna have to be restarting on that. But honestly, I'm not surprised that both teams forgot, because that momentum shift that you just saw from that quad cap, man, that is the second week in a row in the playoffs that Keyboard Warriors has landed a quad cap onto the opposing team on their home server. They did the exact same thing to Quick Cleans, just that if this ends up being Keyboard Warriors winning this, that will have come down to just utterly brilliant Special Infected, and it could happen now. It really could. It's 500 points on this map, and that's all they need. It really depends, of course, on the tank inside and how they take that, because this is another area where the tank could do a decent amount of damage just based on the pool room, you know, with the arms and that stuff. And plus, they have survivors dropping 2 and 2. You have to kill the tank the way. And actually, the thing for Keyboard Warriors, though, is they did the best on this map on the last server. So they need to continue that momentum and then just try to multiply that quad cap by another chapter, honestly. But now, this is something, when you take a quad like that, it means that no hit is safe, right? Like, that hit that went in by the room, they had them so pinned down in that open area, right? And there are so many opportunities for the SI to do absolute work on this 4th map. I am so hyped from that, because you've seen a jockey forward to get someone killed by the tank. We've had a death charge, and now we have a quad cap on this 2nd game. Here we go. Team Keyboard Warriors on their survivor side. It will be Adam's tank as well for Team Stuck in Rotation. It is on. This map is suddenly worth everything, and we have to just sit here and watch what happens. It's going to be a Jockey, Smoker, Charger, and the other spawn that I can find is going to be that Spitter. They're doing a pull charge, but it's not quite landing. What a charge that was, though, by Ramirez. He landed almost on the survivor's head, and then he was able to get that charge on to Knock, saying easy in chat as well. Just because it did look as weird as it did, as Vanel's saying. That was something with the ping, I think, that had something to do with it, but don't ask me. I am not an expert when it comes to landing chargers like that. Boomer, Hunter, Jockey, and the other spawn is going to be a charger, so another bit of damage potential possible here, but once again, the first step of this is Keyboard Warriors have to make the survive round, so if they die, this game is over. Hunter gets blown out of the sky, though, by the Special Infected's worst nightmare, and that is Domi and the rest of his team with shotguns. If there's one person who's going to kill as many hunters you could possibly think on this, I'm waiting to see Domi just pop off like that once again. Keyboard Warriors rolling forward now with the momentum. And the other thing is, after what they dealt with on map 1, for Keyboard Warriors to keep this together has been so impressive. Let's see if they're able to survive this tank. Smoker is going to die. Hunter going for a pounce, and they are going to get a boomer on top of that as well. It's a quad boom landing for Adam's tank. Knock took so much damage on that as well, and the survivor, Domi, is still caught. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know, because Slay is going to pause. And Domi said he got disconnected for 5 seconds. Yeah. And let's see if he's going to get... I don't think he's actually going to get card here for his trouble. I think he's actually going to be able to make it out of this situation. Adam is right there, but if Domi is able to M2 and get back on top of that van, that would be what they need right here in this position. He's a little bit hoarded, but the tank I don't think is actually going for him, because I think the tank probably thought he was disconnected as well or something like that. But let's see if he's able to jump back fast enough. Oh, he's on top of it, and Adam is going towards the pool room instead, as he's going to be climbing up the window, and he's going to be cutting right in to the Special and to the survivors right there, trying to go for the kill onto Rochelle with this car to lock it up, and it looks as though he does have it as he turns back around. If I'm him, I'm just killing Rochelle. Knock is going to die. That is going to be almost Team Keyboard Warriors getting eliminated here with that Jockey landing, and that is the wipe that Team Stuck in Rotation needed to win this game. Oh my goodness. Team Keyboard Warriors on that transition back, they just weren't in the spot for it. They had everybody drop outside, the quad boom landed, and that was the intercept by Adam's tank that Stuck in Rotation needed to bring this home. I think they're probably just going to maybe play the second half out of respect, but that was a situation where Keyboard Warriors needed to play that a bit better, because honestly, Domi was there in that spot, and they had SI to deal with at the same point. So they weren't able to get the shutdown that they needed that way, and Stuck in Rotation is going to save this game based on their Special Infected with that tank wipe. Utterly unreal turn of events in these two games. It's just, again, I mean, you can't really hope for a better scenario if you were team stuck in rotation and that quad boom landing and not taking as much damage as he did from the SI support that were hitting as the survivors were trying to transition backwards. So Jockey, Charger, Smoker for the rest of this hit. The game is already over. Teams stuck in rotation are going to be advancing to play Team Rehab next week on Dark Carnival. And that's going to be a hell of a home and away matchup. You hear that right now. Boomer, Jockey, Charger, Smoker for this hit from Keyboard Warriors, who are just playing it out the best that they can. That quad they landed last map had everyone so hopeful, but again, their survivor, they made the error they did on map 1, and they also made the error of getting everything to land onto them in a short space like that. This really was teams stuck in rotations SI that have made this game possible for them to win the home and away series and pretty much mitigate damage now on this server. They're going to be pushing their way inside the building before this quad cap in the hands of Team Keyboard Warriors tries to go in. If they land a second quad in 2 maps, that would be one of the most amazing examples from a team that we've been able to see. There's the Smoker going to land in. Hunter lands in the back. Jockey is in the front, taking one survivor up. We saw this happen map 1, and now it's happening here as well. 2 Yams, but they are going to clear that through the floor before the survivors are able to get that tank up. So commiserations to Team Keyboard Warriors. They fought as hard as they possibly could, but there were just a couple too many errors, honestly, on their survivor side to bring it home. Let's see if Slay is able to end this in style, however, with this tank as he makes his way down the stairs, and it looks as though he's going to be looking to cut the survivors off potentially once again if they're trying to work their way inside. Charger is going to die as the Smoker and Hunter are also still up, and Slay is going to be on the roof first before dropping now into the bar area, getting his initial corner onto Adam. Another punch going out onto him. Smoker lands as well, but now Slay is spreading the damage around, hitting Bravo and then turning his way back around to get a punch onto Ellis. Another punch going out onto Nick. That's going to be almost the corner going out onto him, but he does miss a punch there as the Hunter went in. Jockey lands as well. Tank is going to be taking that potentially from Rochelle, looking for that punch onto Coach, but not getting it. So just that in-cap going out onto Ram, plus the rest of that residual damage. It's unfortunately anticlimactic just because Keyboard Warriors managed to wipe on their survivor side as that boomer went in. Awful timing as well to see Domi have that issue, but that's one of those circumstances where I think that the Special Infected already kind of had their number prior to that disconnect, because they were getting pounced and spit on and having a bunch of bad things happen to them kind of at the same time. Stuck in rotation here, are trying to push their way forward. They don't have a massive amount of health left, honestly. They are passing pills to Yams and then working their way forward. So they're going to look to start the event most likely extremely soon. Only one more hit between them and when they decide to do that. But let's see if there's anything the Keyboard Warriors have to say about this again. Just kind of keeping it in the realm of sportsmanship by playing this out. Jockey, Boomer, Smoker, and Hunter going in right now. There's the pull going out on top onto Ellis. Jockey lands on the Coach in the front. Hunter looking for the intercept is now going to land it, and I believe I'm crashing now. So that just kind of brings everything home. Okay, we're good, we're good. I'm still on the server, didn't actually disconnect that time. And that means that teams stuck in rotation are going to be pushing their way to this float as it works its way across. They're going to be standing here underneath the awnings, killing as many common as they can with that high ping. Spitter, Charger, Smoker, and Jockey for the next hit from Team Keyboard Warriors, still fighting it out the best that they can. Jockey going in, trying to land onto one survivor there. There is going to be a charge landing onto Nick, but the spit went down onto nothing, unfortunately, for Keyboard Warriors. And now that's going to let Stuck in Rotation move their way across. There is going to be a Smoker pull going out onto Bravo, which is going to reset him. Smoker is not dead yet as well, so that is fortunate for the Special Infected as they're going to keep trolling this choke. It's going to be a Hunter, Boomer, and Spitter for the rest of that hit. Let's see if they are able to send out on the survivors potentially in the back. Nick is really looking for that Smoker pick as well, as that Smoker is going to get a pull onto him, and then it does get cleared. Hunter going in, going to manage to land onto Bravo for a split second. Boomer getting M2'd in the front and also scratching the survivor as well. Let's see what this next hit's going to be, as the Spitter has indeed saved itself, probably for another charge attempt as the survivors work their way forward. But they're close enough now to where they have that pill cabinet in front, plus they might be able to find another set at some point in the map, as this charger is going to go in, managing to land, but the spitter was nowhere close, unfortunately, for them. The jockey does manage to land the front onto Bravo and bring him back into spit, so that does salvage it just a tad after that charger was not able to find any support from his special infected team. This smoker in the hands of Slay is still alive. He's going to go for a despawn, get some of that health back as the rest of the hit comes into queue. Hunter, Boomer, and the Charger ready to send this in on the Survivor team. Boomer's going to spawn up, trying to look for an Arc Boom. Not going to land it. Charger is going to land, though, onto one Survivor as the Hunter works its way in, going for a scratch on the Yams, but not finding it, as that double boom is also going to land. Honestly, I will say this, in this home and away series, it's been one of the better displays of special infected play that we've seen in this entire tournament, and I expect to see the game between Rehab and Stuck in Rotation. That's going to be a hell of a matchup, especially because Team MSB gave Rehab a run for their money on that neutral server earlier today. It's going to be a hell of a game, as well as the 44 Biceps versus NV game on Dark Carnival. So that Boomer's going to get shut down for its trouble as the Survivors work their way forward. Charger's going to go in, imagine to get a double in cap with that punch, and then that charge landing, so both Ram and Adam are going to be downed in that spit, and that's going to put Ram at black and white and Adam at 1 in cap. So Ram is definitely the target of the SI right now. We'll see exactly how that goes. It's going to be a Hunter, a Smoker, and 2 other spawns for what is going to be probably the second to last hit from Keyboard Warriors. It's that Jockey and that Boomer. Smoker's going to spawn up on the side. Hunter's going to go in from the front, managing to land onto Rochelle. That pull does go out in the back, and that's going to be the hit up and down and dealt with, except for that 3 boom that we saw go out onto these Survivors. They're going to keep limping their way towards the safe room. They're going to win this home and away series by just about 1,000 points, maybe just under about 900. So that is definitely respectable for Stuck in Rotation. And once again, last hit now for Keyboard Warriors is going to look its way in. Spit's going to go down. Hunter's going to land. Charger already got the in cap onto Yams, and that's going to be the Spitter trying to land onto Ram for that in cap, but it's not going to work. Or actually, for that kill. He's at 2 HP, black and white, as they work their way forward. Keyboard Warriors, largest commiserations we can possibly give to them, and they're saying good luck further, because they're going to have that against Team Rehab next week. That brings the final score for this server to 2,537 to 1,820 in the favor of Keyboard Warriors on this game, but Team Stuck in Rotation, of course, win the series. So that's going to conclude what I think has been one of the best rounds in terms of games that we've had in these tournaments for an extremely long time. Every single match was close. Every single match took 4 maps to decide that way. There were no blowouts to be heard of. And now we are going to be seeing how these matchups next week are going to be scheduled, because we are going to be extremely pumped to have them on both Vanilla Stream and the rest of the tournament's access. So thank you very much, of course, for watching on behalf of the server administrators, the rest of the RBT5 admin staff. Thank you to Vanell, of course, for streaming, and for the server hosts for the work they did in that, and to everyone here for watching these games as we continue to go forward in RBT5. We only have 2 weeks of play left, and we have what might be the best games of the tournament coming up next week on those maps in terms of Dark Carnival. So we will get you the information for those as soon as we possibly can, and until then, have a great rest of your weekend, a good week in between, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon.